This is Akash Sureka, founder of TheNoah.ai, also former MD JP Morgan, also former NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Motorola alumni. Have worked very closely with Jensen and obviously very fond of his leadership. Two people I admire a lot, which is Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan and Jensen of NVIDIA. I'm here to talk about what are we doing with TheNoah.ai, why are we doing it, how are we doing it, what exactly we're doing it, who benefits from TheNoah.ai. But before that, let me set up a bit of context around it. Been working with a lot of companies of various sizes, whether it's small, medium, or enterprises. One thing is very clear, which I've observed from last many years, is that many department experts, many domain experts, many business users spend tremendous amount of time in their day-to-day workflows, use cases, which are very bespoke. Supply chain domain and a finance domain are very bespoke. There's some relativity between two, some connectivity between two, but there are many use cases which are very bespoke. There are various other domains where people spend a lot of time and understand their use cases day in, day out. They are responsible for the business outcomes, they are responsible for cost efficiencies, they are responsible for productivity gains, and they are responsible for eventually delivering value to their shareholders and stakeholders, both internal and external. Having gone through that experience, having seen through my close eyes with a lot of those domain experts and business users and department users across various departments, across various industries, across various verticals, whether it's BFSI, which is banking, financial services and insurance, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is automobile, whether it's aviation, whether it is hospitality, whether it is healthcare, whether it is supply chain, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is finance, and you name it. A lot of these people have different way of working for the different use cases, and eventually all of them come together for business outcomes at a company level. We saw this very closely, and obviously there is this whole wave of AI which came in past few years. Yet, a lot of these domain users and department users were struggling to adopt, to even try, to even experiment, and maybe even innovate with AI. It just came in with such a speed, and it also came up at the same point of time with such humongous amount of complexity that many of these users just couldn't adopt AI at the same speed. Now, obviously, there are various problems around it, which is around data. First of all, everything in AI revolves around data. Many companies, many department users don't even have access to the data, by the way. If you don't have access to the data, how are you going to try AI? How are you going to find out what outcomes AI can give you? It's a complicated problem. Many companies, even if they have data, they don't have the data in the right format. The data is not cleansed. The data is not in the right structure. Maybe it is at different other siloed places, not coming at one place. And at the same point of time, people don't know what format, what structure, what pattern of data which is required for optimum outcomes from artificial intelligence adoption in the companies. The result is people spend months and years to just get the data right. At the same point of time, obviously there is a whole language model which comes up, which does a phenomenal job in English and various other use cases which is related to the content. But what happens is, if you try to take a very large language model and try to use it in small, tiny use cases, in various other workflows, in your companies, across your functions, it requires humongous amount of fine-tuning. Again, that requires a lot of cost, lot of infrastructure, lot of GPUs, lot of people, lot of time. And yet, because of various other reasons which are connected to it, including data, not having right visibility of the outcomes, don't know where is it going, don't know where the fine-tuning is right, many times the language models are black box, and hence the failure rates are very high. The outcomes are not as it is desired. Right? You spend months and years, and yet the outcomes are very poor. In fact, MIT has recently said 95% of AI projects, 95% of AI projects, they fail. Why? Because people are taking large models, trying to retrofit in workflows where it doesn't work, right? It may work with a lot of good English use cases, but putting up in various other bespoke company use cases might not give you optimal result, because that requires a lot of work on top of it, right? Which is where we come in, right? We saw companies we met a lot of CIOs in last few months and last year as well, just to understand what kind of problems they're going in the AI world. Obviously, AI is inevitable. Obviously, AI needs to be there, implemented, adopted, and experimented with for the right outcomes for the businesses, whether it is about cost reductions, whether it is about productivity increase, whether it is about customer experience improvements, or whether it is about revenue increments. All of that, AI is definitely going to help. But at the same word of time, all of the companies we met, just to get an understanding of what are the problems they're facing, we saw a lot of companies spending months and years on POCs, right? Proof of concepts. We saw a lot of companies having high amount of failure rates, which is what Gartners and MITs are saying. We saw they're spending a lot of money, lot of resources, lot of talent, yet with poor outcomes. The result is the board is asking now, hey, if you want to spend millions of dollars, what's the ROI? Right? Can you show me some outcomes? People want to see what AI is going to give you, which is where I'm very, very glad after spending months and years, after having seen all of these companies of various sizes in last many, many years of my own decade of experience, after seeing what do they go through at every use case level and the business outcomes they want, I'm very glad to launch world's first fully pre-trained, full stack, zero code AI platform as a service, which is called as TheNoah.ai. You know, Noah has helped humanity, saving humanity from floods, right? And we are here to save a lot of companies and professionals from the flood of AI. Now, what does TheNoah.ai do, right? As I said, TheNoah.ai abstracts the complete complexities around AI technologies for companies, whether it is about models, whether it is about machine learning models, whether it is about generative models, whether it is about agentic platforms, whether it is about agents, autonomous agents, semi-autonomous agents, or agents who coordinate with each other, whether it is about integrations with a lot of your applications, whether it is about search across your applications using AI natural language queries, whether it is about interactions with your applications and data sources using natural language queries, and whether it is about getting proactive insights and analytics which are more actionable in nature using agentic AI, right? We bring in all of that, fully abstracting the technology and giving a zero code, full stack, fully pre-trained AI platform as a service. We are the world's first company, after seeing what all companies are struggling through on adopting large models, we have taken a very different approach and thesis, right? Which may sound slightly weird, but if you think from a first principles thinking, it does make sense, right? Look at one of the use case of your company. If you want to get an AI outcome for a small use case of the company, it may not make sense to use a very, very large model and adopt it and fine tune it and get to try some outcomes, which, as I said, take a lot of time, money, people, and the failure rates are high. Whereas we have gone through and we have taken a different approach of what Steve Jobs say, what customer wants and what business outcomes want, you put up technology behind it, as opposed to other way around, right? And that's exactly we have done. In our case, with TheNoah.ai, as world's first company, we have broken down the problems, the business outcomes, and use case requirements at every workflow level of different functions. Right? We've gone through thousands of such use cases, we've gone through tens of verticals and functions in the company, and we have broken down problems, which means is we have built small domain models which are use case specific, which are required to generate a business outcome what the domain experts want, as opposed to other way around, right? Which is where we ended up building such thousands of small models, which are very tiny models. It requires 100x lesser resources. If you required thousands of GPUs earlier, this may require 100x less. This will require 100x lesser energy. This will require 100x people, and this will require 100x lesser of time. What it means is, because they are fully pre-trained, they are made at a use case level, the whole contextuality of every use case across every workflow, across every industry has gone through it, which is where we are preloading all of the pre-trained use cases, all of the pre-trained verticals and business functions, whether it's HR, finance, legal, IT, project management, product management, supply chain, ERP, you name it and we have it. Similarly, all the verticals, BFSI, healthcare, manufacturing, automotive, hospitality, real estate, green, energy, all of that is preloaded. We've gone through every use case level. We've understood the business outcomes required at the business case, and we have created models around it. Right? Now, this necessarily may not require generative models everywhere, because a certain use case may have a business outcome which can be sufficed through a machine learning model, and so on and so forth. Right? So, what business wants, we build the AI technology around it, because of which it requires less amount of time, like 100x less time, to go try and adopt and go live. It requires less cost, cheapest cost, and it requires least amount of resources and people around it, right? Which means is you can quickly try. The POCs which were running for months and years now can be done in minutes, maybe hours, maybe days, basis what complexity of the use cases. You can launch custom use cases the way you want. You can quickly visualize the outcome of AI for using all of our models across your use case. Any domain expert who understands business, who understands use case, can quickly spawn and see what AI can give an outcome for various business outcomes, and so on and so forth. We also have a lot of agents built in. We have thousands of agents which are pre-trained, pre-built for a lot of company use cases, which means is you can just spawn it on day one in just few minutes. There are no drag and drops involved. It's just simple English steps. As long as you understand your language, as long as you understand the use case, and as long as you know what outcome you want, you can do semi-autonomous agents, you can do full autonomous agents. All the agentic platform complexities, whether it's single agent, multiple agent, coordination between agents in case of multiple steps, integrations with thousands of applications, everything is taken care. We also give proactive insights, analytics at a workflow level using AI, so that all of you can see how data is behaving and what kind of outcomes are possible in businesses, right? So this all comes as full stack. We don't end up over there. A lot of companies, they started saying, hey, we want a company-wide search who can go and search through my documents, my data, and things like those. We have built an agentic AI search, very simple to use, simple natural language queries, and you can get all the results across your company portfolio of applications and data. You can interact with all of your applications using natural language, using our agentic actions. You can use our agentic analytics to get a lot of proactive insights and alerts and have the overall view of your company at one go. So to conclude, I'm very happy to launch world's first fully zero code, fully pre-trained, full stack AI platform as a service called as TheNoah.ai. It is made up and preloaded with thousands of use cases. All use cases pre-trained, because we believe every use case is a bespoke use case. Every domain is a bespoke domain. We have carefully crafted thousands of models, thousands of agents, thousands of insights, and a lot of simulation and a lot of data sets across each of the use case, very, very contextual to every use case. And the result is that now the companies, the domain users, the department users, the business users can quickly visualize the ROI, the benefits, and the outcome of AI on any use case with just simple 3 clicks. And that's pretty much it. Every business user or any domain expert can quickly spawn and run agents with simple natural language skills, and that's pretty much it. As long as you know your use case, as long as you understand the business outcome you want, TheNoah.ai is the solution for you.